What's up, everyone? Kristen Lago here for Get Sports Focus, and I want to welcome you to another week of Around the Pac. The only thing that's changing this time around is I'm taking it outside for week 4 of Pac-12 play, but I'm kicking things off the same way with my recap of the week. This time around, I'm talking Cal versus Ole Miss. Now, this is not a joke, people. I am not pulling your leg. The California Golden Bears are really undefeated on the season because it's amazing what a defensive-minded coach like that of Justin Wilcox has done for the Bears so far. I want to talk about one defensive player in particular this week. I'm talking linebacker Devontae Downs. Now, he had 14 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 interception on the day against the Rebels. Just having a day overall on behalf of the entire defense. The offense as well, looking good over the last year. A lot of improvement and a good mix of play calling from their offensive coordinator to bring the Bears ahead. They improved to 3-0 on the season. They'll face their first test this week, though. They're taking on the Trojans at home on Saturday. Now, speaking of USC, it was the rematch all diehard Trojan fans have been waiting 11 long years for. It finally arrived over the weekend. I'm talking Texas versus USC, and it brought all of the drama and intrigue that you could ever ask from a Pac-12 after dark game. Now, the Longhorns, led by freshman quarterback Sam Ehlinger, pulled Texas ahead by 3 with 45 seconds left on the clock, but USC's own Sam Darnold rushed the Trojans down the field, and their kicker, I'm talking their walk-on true freshman kicker Chase McGrath, tied it up with a field goal. Now it goes into double overtime. They exchange a pair of touchdowns, but Christian Rector on behalf of the USC defense strip sacks Ehlinger to give the Trojans back the ball. They win it by a game-winning field goal. It was Trojans 27 to the Longhorns 24 in what was a Hollywood movie-worthy game for the Trojans. They get their revenge over Texas from the 2006 Rose Bowl. Now, while we're on the subject of what could be Hollywood-worthy storylines, I want to talk about the Washington State women's volleyball team, specifically their head coach Jen Greeny. It took the Cougars 71 minutes over the weekend to sweep Tennessee State, sealing her 100th career win as a head coach. Now, that is very impressive. I can't even remember the last thing I've done 100 times, so credit to her on that career milestone. They also notched their 11th win in a row and their number 8 sweep of the season. Now, speaking of other players and coaches who broke records this weekend, I want to move on to the California Golden Bears once again. Their women's soccer team, and specifically their goalie Emily Boyd, she became the 8th player in Pac-12 history to reach 30 career shutouts this weekend. The Bears went 3-0 over number 14 Oklahoma State. That sealed their 16th consecutive non-conference win, a huge weekend for Pac-12 athletics in the North and specifically for the California Golden Bears. And finally, I want to do a little bit of a fun story to round out Around the Pac this week. I want to talk about Takkarist McKinley, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite former Pac-12 players. Even though he's a Bruin and I'm a Trojan, I got to give credit to him. Just a terror on the field, becoming one of the most dynamic edge rushers in the league, but he's also hilarious off the field. Okay, guys, he took a picture of his grandma to the draft to honor her legacy. She actually recycled bottles to pay their rent when he was living with her as a young kid. He also has a French bulldog named Codeine. I don't know how he came up with that one. He said he just woke up one day and thought, I want to name my dog Codeine. Okay. And he has an obsession with Top Ramen, don't we all? And he shut down social media over the course of the NFL season to better focus on football. So I think this week we can all take a lesson from Mr. McKinley on focusing on what we love and those who support us the best. So, Takkarist McKinley, I'm giving a shout out to you this week. But again, guys, the majority of Pac-12 teams, they're kicking off conference play this weekend. Make sure you pay attention to a few interesting matchups, specifically in soccer and women's volleyball. But on the football front, pay close attention to number 5 USC. Taking on Cal could be a trap game for the Trojans, their first game on the road. Also, Washington, Oregon, and Utah, all teams ranked in the AP Top 25, will be beginning conference play against Colorado, ASU, and the University of Arizona, respectively. Also, Washington State, who's in the top 25, will be taking on Nevada. But that's all I got for you this week. Make sure to tune in next week for another episode of Around the Pac. But for Get Sports Focus, I'm Kristen Lago.